In tonight's Mountain State Science Report, Science for Preschoolers. Marshall University's June Harless Center has started a preschool focusing on science and technology. Suzanne Higgins reports the center is the first piece in a much bigger master plan.
Science, technology, engineering, and math. That's the focus at Marshall University's Early Education STEM Center, which just completed its inaugural year. But like most preschools, play is the cornerstone for these 3- and 4-year-olds.
We really like to think that it's child-directed play and that it's our job as the educators to bring out STEM concepts, STEM thought, but it's their job to enjoy the play and to engage in the play.
Program Director Tarabeth Brumfield says teachers here nurture students in a way that builds confidence and feeds a child's natural curiosity and desire for independence.
We want students to feel like they can tackle the problem, they can answer the question. So again, it's about how do we support them to find out that answer. You know, most of the time when you see a 3- and 4-year-old, you want to do everything for them. I think that's our nature, but at some point we have to step back and say, you can do this. And I think that would really help when they become older learners because we want students in elementary, middle, and high school to feel empowered enough that they can answer the problem. That there's not just one way to solve something, there's multiple ways, and that's okay. And we want to know your thoughts and feelings about how you would go about solving that. So really, we're not looking at product, we're looking at processes.
The STEM Center is located in Corbley Hall and can accommodate up to 20 students. They're often divided into small groups for activities. Today, a very simple science lesson with pineapples, carrots, and loops to develop observational skills.
Weird stuff? What's the weird stuff look like? What color is the weird stuff?
Just making predictions about what they think it feels like or what it looks like, and even guessing what the fruit or vegetable is. They've eaten these fruits and vegetables every week, and they usually have them for lunch or for a snack or breakfast. So they're familiar with them once they've been cut up, but not as a whole. So they're having the chance today to actually get to explore what the outside of the fruit or vegetable looks like, and also just making predictions. And that's what science is all about, making predictions and seeing if their predictions are correct.
Technology is used to integrate science and math with music and lessons on world cultures. A state-of-the-art smartboard plays a video showing children in Bangladesh performing a traditional bowl dance.
The children have the opportunity to also recreate this, in which they are trying to balance a number of bowls on top of their head. So that's one way that we do utilize the smartboard. We also use it to incorporate Spanish into the classroom. So they learn Spanish words and letters and numbers through singing songs, also through different activities on the smartboard as far as matching games or just letter recognition and number recognition.
The students are also comfortable using flip cameras, iPods, iPads, and computers.
They learn to use it purposefully and that it has a meaning behind it. So they know that the technology or that the computer is a place they can go find more information about something they want to know more about. So they're learning that at 3, 4, and 5, which will then help them later on through life and prepare them for elementary school and middle school and high school with these skills that they're learning now.
Parents say they're thrilled with the program and can see the impact on their children.
Particularly right now when he's such a sponge and he's taking it all in and asking so many inquisitive questions that a 5-year-old's going to ask. And once we found out that the science, technology, engineering, and math was going to be a focus, that was both honestly a turn on for me, but it also pushed me away a bit being an artist because I'm a musician, and I thought, where do the arts fit into this? Because I want to make sure that my child is well-rounded. And I think that's been my greatest impression, is they take all of these wonderful things that they're going to need for the future, and undoubtedly STEM is a way of the future. But they're also putting music and they're putting visual art into it and they're putting in drama. So it's been just a wonderful holistic experience for him, and he's really shining. He's enjoying it a lot.
The Early Education STEM Center is under the direction of Marshall University's June Harless Center for Rural Educational Research and Development. The STEM Center was modeled after years of research and on-site visits to successful pre-K centers in Pittsburgh and Washington, D.C. The Harless Center invites preschool teachers from around the state to come and watch what's going on here, or to observe via the classroom's video conferencing cameras.
So we lovingly refer to it as the Cleveland Clinic of Education, where we have an opportunity to do research on trying new strategies, new techniques, so that teachers from around the state can come and take advantage of what we're doing. And then if they like what they see, then we will then provide our staff to go out and help them implement this.
The center also provides Marshall University education students with practicum hours.
It smells like kiwi. Do you see anything?
The center has several partners, including the West Virginia Department of Education and Cabell County Schools.
And we know now that there are windows of opportunity for learning. Children at this age, those windows are wide open in terms of them being able to make the connections between neurons in the brain to be able to connect information with one another. The approach that the STEM Center takes with science and technology, engineering and math, not seeing them as separate subjects, but investigating and exploring them in a very integrated way. This helps children develop the connections so that they then can become critical thinkers. And that's what will help them down the road. And we need them desperately to be critical 21st century thinkers, not stuck in a school model that was developed for 20th century learners.
That's a long-term goal for the June Harless Center, to create a school model for 21st century learning. Officials hope the Early Education STEM Center is the first phase of what will become a pre-K through 12th grade STEM school on Marshall University's campus.
So many times it's a nice elementary school over here, or a nice middle school, or there's a great high school. I heard a phrase that we called them cathedrals in the desert. So you have these really great places, but they're not connected anyway, and so it's hard to do research. But what would happen if a child had that experience all the way through?
The Harless Center wants to develop what Dr. Stan Maynard calls a model educational incubator.
I think it would be a transformational moment for education in West Virginia, but I think for Appalachia in general, we could be that place where education and excellence in education starts. So that's our dream.
In the meantime, the STEM Center continues to inspire inquisitive preschoolers by making science and math a lot of fun.
We set the bar high, we provide them lots of support, and children just grow, and they exceed our expectations every time. Every time we do something, they exceed it.
The STEM Center follows Marshall's employee calendar year. Enrollment is open to any 3 or 4-year-old, and tuition is based on household income. For West Virginia Public Broadcasting, I'm Suzanne Higgins in Huntington.
Support for the Mountain State Science Series comes from the National Science Foundation's experimental program to stimulate competitive research, investing in West Virginia's future by building infrastructure for scientific research. On the web at wvresearch.org.